By the early 1700s, gin had become a drink du jour. But what followed were years of gin madness, otherwise known as the gin craze. When the English took to gin like ducks to water. In 1689, the whole of England produced about 500,000 gallons of gin a year.
Wow, that's a lot. In 1733, London had 500,000 residents and is reported to have produced 14 gallons of gin per year for every resident. That's man, woman and child. This number does not include homemade gin from illegal stills.
Right. A number of acts were put in place to try and stop the scourge. Some far more successful than others. The various gin acts that were enforced, which caused outrage and riots, led to mock funeral processions mourning the death of Madame Geneva. This always took place just the night before the law became enacted.
The Sixth Gin Act of 1743 was the first act put in place that actually slowed down the consumption of gin, but the people's darling would not be easy to get rid of.
It's important to know that the money gained by taxing and the duty on gin was responsible in most part for building the British Empire.
1751 saw the introduction of what was called the TIPPLING Act, which is basically responsible for the demise in all the back street gin sales. This led to a drop of almost a third in consumption of gin and the beginning of a new era.
Ever increasing taxes meant gin was no longer cheap, no longer the opium of the masses. Effective controls and regulations led to the proper supervision and management of distilling. Respectable companies began to make quality products, and now begins the rise of the great English distilling houses.